that's a really great question. All the black and white images here were shot about 4 or 5 months ago, and that was when I was just shooting in black and white. I was trying to challenge myself and trying to have myself learn something new. And the thing about shooting in black and white is you kind of remove the distraction of color. Now you're looking for shapes, you're looking for texture, you're looking for characters, and it becomes much more visceral image making process. And I shot in black and white for about 4 or 5 months and no color at all. So when I went back to color, I was looking for those same things, but now with the added splash of color, it makes the image a lot more magical. This was shot in New York City financial district, very late at night. All the skyscrapers have those giant these, and there's one singular person sitting in the lobby, security guard, silhouetted against this, these huge lights, from this investment banking building. And it was a very interesting scene in the way the shadows had fallen off of these bricks that are kind of coming out at the same time, having this lighting kind of come underneath the stand here. And I couldn't help but take the photo. This one is block, and it's a very interesting photo in that it looks very 3D. This is shot in La Jolla, and every morning in La Jolla around 5 or 6 a.m., all the birds will jump off in one big flock and just fly off to go fishing. So I had waited there, for about an hour until they do that. And all it takes normally is just for one bird to kind of just decide to wing it, and all the other birds will kind of follow after them. When I took the shot, I wanted to try to freeze the birds, kind of freeze them and freeze the action. But so I used a really fast shutter speed, like 1/500th of a second. What happened was the birds were moving so fast that as I took the shot, I panned with the birds. And what it ended up doing is kind of creating this effect where the background was blurred, and some of the birds closer to me were blurred. But the birds that I was following while I was panning the camera become frozen because they move at the same speed my camera was. So it creates this interesting dynamic where you have these frozen birds in the center, and as you go farther up the side, the birds are getting blurrier and closer and farther back. And it has a very interesting feel to it. And then these last three are pictures out from Laguna or Anza-Borrego Desert. They're just absolutely gorgeous. You go out there on a new moon, and they're so far out, there's no light pollution. And the stars are absolutely spectacular. With that last one there, the spiral is created by stacking about 300 individual shots in post. And then creating a singular image because the Earth will rotate, and the middle point there is actually the North Star Polaris because we rotate, with that North Star, and creates this really beautiful song.
Anything else?
We'll talk a little bit about. Can you talk a little bit about, besides the obvious digital stuff like that one, that post, any manipulation? What do you do, if at all?
I try to keep it really minimal. For my street stuff, it's shot on digital, so there's a very big. So my street stuff, the things that I shot on the street are digital, and there's a really nagging feeling when you get in the computer to adjust a couple things, to change the contrast, to slightly playing with the saturation. But I try to limit myself and just edit it very subtly, just to try to keep it within the realm of the scene. But an important part of photography too is you are not just taking a picture of the scene, you are showing your interpretation of it. So if I feel like I saw the scene in a different way than the camera captured, I'll try to replicate that. When I shoot film and shoot my black and white film or color film, I actually will manipulate it a lot, quite a bit more in the darkroom to the way that I saw I went to the photo.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? Like independent or like working for a big conglomerate?